Imagine a child, about 10 years old, who's 40 pounds overweight, whose parents are also 40 pounds overweight and have had a history of medical problems. Let's take a look at the family's diet. It's comprised of candy, sugary cereals, junk foods, TV dinners, and a plethora of fast food. One day the child is taken to a doctor, given a blood test, and the results only brought bad news. The doctor tells the mother, "Your child is pre-diabetic and is showing early signs of hypertension." It's hard to admit, but I was this child. Here's me at age 10, the lovable, chubby nerd. For most of my childhood and adolescent life, I was living an unhealthy lifestyle and showed no signs of improving. In fact, as I grew older, I had to witness tragedy after tragedy as I lost family members to diabetic complications, witnessed major health declines in each family member, seen the aftermath of amputations, and had to see the constant flow of medications they had to consume each day just to stay normal. Now, there were a number of factors that contributed to the premature deaths, but there was one common factor, and that was their abuse of sugar. Americans are addicted to sugar, so much so that it's creating generations of people that will have health issues in their lives. However, limiting your own consumption with the use of self-monitoring can help you prevent developing diseases such as type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Technology has also made it possible to develop applications that are available on your own smartphones, so you can get started today. So you're probably thinking, well, I eat healthy enough, so I can continue to indulge in my favorite sugary snacks for as long as I'd like. But before you start engorging yourself, let's take a look at the overall impact of the overconsumption of sugar in America. According to a 2014 report entitled Statistics About Diabetes on diabetes.org, the American Diabetes Association announced that in 2012, 29.1 million Americans had the disease. This is about 9.3% of the population, a full percentage point increase since 2010. It was also reported that 86 million Americans, 20 and older, were pre-diabetic and at risk of developing the disease. And as of 2010, diabetes remains the 7th leading cause of death, with it either being the primary cause or a contributing factor. So what is the recommended amount of sugar we should be consuming? In an article entitled Dietary Sugar Intake and Cardiovascular Health, a scientific statement from the American Heart Association, Dr. Rachel Johnson and her team recommends a sugar intake between 13 and 19 grams for adults. However, they found that the average American consumes roughly 111 grams, with numbers in some cases as high as 155 grams. This equates to about 3 cans of Coke. And I know for a fact that we're all guilty of consuming this much at one point or another. Researchers have also found that the new sugars many companies are using in their products are negatively affecting your body as we speak, most notably fructose. In an article from Today's Science entitled, "Is Fructose Making Americans Fat?" the author found that refined sugars, such as fructose, are affecting the hormonal levels of the human body that control hunger. This is leaving the consumers less satisfied. As a result, this increases the urge to consume more food than what is metabolically demanded. As a result, the human body has to take all this extra sugar that is now in the bloodstream and store it as fat. Continual consumption of these products will lead to a vicious cycle that will eventually negatively compromise your health. So what can you do to limit your own sugar intake in your life? Well, you can learn how to self-monitor. In an article from the National Institute of Health entitled Self-Monitoring and Weight Loss, a systematic review of the literature, a team led by Dr. Lord Burke of the University of Pittsburgh School of Nursing and Graduate School of Public Health took a look at 22 studies that examined self-monitoring, which is the process of being aware of oneself and what one does, and its effect in weight loss programs. They found that 15 of these studies showed significant associations between the two, suggesting that participants who used self-monitoring were able to gain success in their results of weight loss. They also found that newer studies that employed the use of a personal digital assistant were able to have comparable results. suggesting that no matter how you record your food diary, the simple act of self-monitoring allowed participants to gain successful results. So what can you do today? Well, you can simply start by tracking your sugar intake using MyFitnessPal or any other application that you're familiar with, as long as it tracks the amount of sugar that you consume each day. In an article entitled A Review of Efficacious Technology-Based Weight Loss Interventions, 5 Key Components, Dr. Anna Kailas of the Department of Psychiatry and Behavioral Science at Stanford University School of Medicine found that constant use of self-monitoring with the personal digital assistant allowed participants to customize their programs, enjoy the use of those programs, and maintain healthier lifestyles for a longer period of time. So what have we learned? Well, Americans are consuming an excessive amount of sugar, so much so that it's causing an increase in the rise of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. The way we can reduce our own risk is by controlling our daily consumption of sugar with the help of technology and self-monitoring. So I challenge you, go to the App Store, download MyFitnessPal, track how much food you eat today, take note of how much sugar you're consuming, and compare it with the national average. Who knows? This could be the first step in taking care of your future health. It sure was mine.